we're excited to share this information. We are going to introduce ourselves in a few minutes' time as we wait for other people to join. Picking my pods so that people can hear me clearly.
Okay.
Hey, welcome guys.
How do you plan to get the questions from those who are on YouTube and
We have the team handling those who are on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook.
okay.
Yes. I know there are people who had asked, they are sent in their questions earlier, so we can also start with them.
I think we can start.
Okay. So for those who have joined in, I know many will continue to join in. If you're interacting with me for the very first time, my name is Sheila Vandegraff. I am currently doing my studies in the US as a second year international development. I'm on full scholarship. I'm very passionate about sharing information about study abroad and engaging with, as you've been seeing from the YouTube channel, we share more information on study abroad, scholarship, how to apply, among other things. And today we are coming in live from all the gadgets, Zoom, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and we want to share more about study abroad. And for this particular session, we will share more on USA as a country of interest. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for coming and for joining us live. I'm going to take this opportunity to invite my colleague, who's the co-founder of this program, and just to share more about him and his passion about study abroad. Then we can start the process. Mr. Kabiru, I know you're waking up. Here in Africa, we are enjoying, It's evening after a very busy day. Good morning.
It's fine. We are on different time zone. My name is Lawal Kabiru. I'm from Nigeria. This is my second master's in the US. My first master was in Austria, fully funded. It's my second master's, partially funded. At least I got more than half of the funding. And we are here to let you know that the journey is possible. You only need the right information, the right mindset, and the right discipline to have it. You need to have the information, you need to have the skill, and you need to be disciplined about it. So that is why we're here. We're here to take your questions. For today, we are limiting it to US so that we can all get value out of it. We don't want to be moving around from Germany to Finland to US. We want to be strictly for US. For other countries, we have other series that are coming up in a few days. I wouldn't be able to be precise, but I'm very sure we are coming with Canada, we are coming with Germany, with UK, but we want to be specific so that you all can derive value from the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I know many people have been asking when is the right time to apply and all those processes. So can you please start us off, Mr. Kabiru, with application process?
Yeah, sorry. Feel free to refer to me as KB. So that's feel free.
Okay, KB, yes.
I think for the application process, there is this adage, or would I say a proverb that says, what is worth doing at all is worth doing well. You can't wake up in a day and feel you get the best of application. You have to understand that everybody is applying to the same school from all over the world. Mm-hmm. When I mean all over the world, I mean all over the world. There are limited spaces. So the best time to apply is now for the next, let's say 2024. The best time to apply now. And what do I mean by the best time to apply is now? Not every school is meant for you. Not every school is meant for you. Not every course is meant for you. You need to find a fit between what you want and what the school has to offer. Even if it's the same course, let's say, for example, I want to study accounting. It is not every school that is studying accounting that is a fit for me. What I mean by fit is you start by looking at what do I want? I want a scholarship and I want the best location. I need a job after I'm graduated. I need some other things. So those are the things that we need to start looking for in the school. The school might be like, okay, look at your background. Okay, I have a BSc in accounting. I want to study MS in accounting. Do I want to write GRE or not? You start looking for a school that will accept GRE or not. I hope I'm making my point. That is the first thing. I'm just using accounting as an example. You can use any other course. The next one is, do I want to fund it myself or somebody? I want the school to give me a scholarship. I want the school to give me a scholarship. It means from the word go, if a school is not offering a scholarship, it is not my fit. There are no two ways about it. I might be able to go there because the school is offering no GRE. But what it means is, what is the essence of getting admission that I won't be giving scholarship? If the school is telling you that we are not going to give you scholarship, then it doesn't matter. I remember there was a time I sent an email to University of Iowa for sustainability. This is because I'm having now. The school told me that for sure we are going to pick you, but we are not going to offer scholarship because we can't offer scholarship. So the woman was like, if you still want to go ahead, send me an email. It was even an email that she asked me to send. Send me an email that you accept, and then we'll process. And I just thank her that if I'm not getting scholarship, why should I go ahead with the admission? It doesn't make sense. So, but if I know for sure I'm going to do it myself, I'm not going to require funding, then I can go to any school. That is the next one. The next thing you have to consider, which most times we don't consider, but schools do put into consideration, is your fit to the environment. At times, I applied to a school. There's a place in Austria. It's called Troy. It's a mountainous area and extremely cold. I remember my interview. The question the guy asked me was like, "Do you fit into this environment? And how do you think you fit into the environment?" Bear it in mind that you are coming from Africa. You are coming from a
can imagine. That would be very.
It is not that you must have lived there before, but you want to be sure that you understand where you are coming to. Because if you don't understand, you just get there that you realize that it is snowy, it is this, you might not excel, and they might have put certain investment on you. So it is not for you to prove that you have lived in a snow area before, but they just want to be sure that you understand the town. And that goes into your SOP. When you are writing SOP, let them know you know about the town. One way of doing it is that I always look for festivals in that town. I'll just reference the festival. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. It is not enough for you to know that this course is a good fit for me. They are going to offer me scholarship. What if they offer you scholarship and you cannot stay there? So those are the little things you need to start doing ahead. Look for the school, look for the program, and I always advise that give yourself options. Options in the sense that if it is possible to write GRE, write GRE. If it is impossible to write GRE, look for courses, not just one course. Like I said, you can't eat your cake and have it. I can't say, okay, I must do accounting and I must not write GRE. It might not be possible. I have to be flexible. Either I write GRE so that I can do accounting in so many schools, or I don't write GRE, I can go and do something else that might not require GRE. So those are the questions you need to decide, and decide very early, not at the very last minute. If you decide at the very last minute, you might be prone to mistakes, and you might be prone to submitting not too competitive application. Like I said, bear in mind that you are not applying from your country alone. Even if you are applying from Nigeria alone, how many of us were in thousands? So by the time you now look at, you are competing with somebody from India, from China, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Brazil, you have to put up an application that is really, really fantastic in the research of the world. Fantastic. So the time to start for applying is now, and you start by looking for information and the right. So let me know that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I just want to get you clear for those who are watching in from different social media. So you've mentioned that the first thing that you need to know is the course you want to study.
Yeah.
So you have.
Yeah.
So how do you know what you want to study?
That is a very good question, but I will tell you from two perspectives, from practical perspective and from, let me say, emotional perspective. Emotional perspective is like, I want to be a doctor. That is an emotional aspect. Everybody has one or two things that you all want to become. Even if you are not going to become that thing eventually, you are passionate about becoming a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a chemical engineer, because we have certain things that we just cherish or we feel we can do better. It is fine. But from the practical perspective, you have to look at your results. Your results. If I feel I want to do accounting, let's say the core courses are like mathematics. I'm just using it as an example. It's not to mean that it's mathematics. Let's say the core courses are cover 5 courses: mathematics, economics, accounting, English. And in my mathematics, let's say I score C. In my mathematics, another C. In my English, I score A. Let's say another course, I score A. From practical perspective, if I insist on doing accounting, I might not be competitive. Because for the core courses that will land me the accounting, let's say the mathematics and economics, I scored extremely low. Extremely low. So from the practical perspective, you look for courses that will maximize your qualification. Let's say I want to do masters now. You look for courses that will maximize your undergraduate. In this case, and I want to be very practical, it is not about saying that, oh, I have a first class. You have to look for core courses in accounting that is needed in my undergraduate and that I've done very well, that I will have to reference in my SOP. Now, okay, I'm coming to do, let's say you want to study accounting. Accounting has so many areas. You can do financial reporting, taxation, audit, assurance, and so many areas. And I want to do assurance. And in all the audit courses, I might have first class. I emphasize it, you might have first class. But in undergraduate audit courses, I scored very low. Very low. Let's say audit 101, I got C. Audit 102, I got another C. I will have to show that I really know that area with something else, not my results. So it is possible you have a 2-1 or even a 2-2.
Yes.
But for all courses, for where you are going, you have A. I remember a specific admission I did for somebody. This person has a first class in mathematics. First class. The school requested that for these areas that you are coming, tell us the grade you have. And the guy has C in 2 areas. Yeah. So he was meant to pick 3 areas. And now realize that one of the areas will be a core disadvantage for him because he has C and B. Another area, he has A, 2 A's, then 1 B, then 1 C. Another areas, he has 3 A's and 1 B. If I want to rank, I won't put the area he has 2 C's. But overall, he has first class. I emphasize it, he has first class. Yeah. He was the prize winner, so many prizes, but he won't get that course.
Okay, so
it is not about having first class or something. The course you want to do, the subjects you want to use to prove that you know that course, you must do very well in those courses.
Okay, so it's good to emphasize it's not only the overall grade.
No, it's not the overall. It's not just the overall.
It's not the overall grade. Okay, so I think that's a very big mistake because many people, when they reach out to us, actually we help a lot of students in the application, as Kabiru KB has mentioned. We help we help lots of students get application and scholarship in the different countries we are going to share. But a lot of people have always been sharing the overall, grade, and that puts you at disadvantage, especially if you are not sure of the core course as KB. I find it KB difficult, as Kabiru has mentioned. So one thing that you need to understand that has come out of this is that you need to know the course you're going to study from emotional perspective and from the realistic perspective. I knew when I was young I wanted to be a doctor, but my grades could not put me anything even close supposed to be to wear the white lab coat, you know. So so it's good to see the overall grade, but also the core grades that you want to. That's one. If I go to right, Kabiru, did you also mention that you need to also check whether the school will provide you with scholarship?
We are from Africa. If your school is not giving you scholarship, there is no need going there.
So how do you know? How do you know that the school is going to provide you with scholarship? I know that's the second topic.
That's a very good question.
Yes.
There are two ways to do it depending on your course.
Yes.
And I will always advise people to follow either of the two. In this journey, you have to be proactive.
Proactive.
You have to hold your destiny in your hand. You don't outsource your destiny. The first thing you do is when you click on a school website, let's say you want to do masters, you go to graduate school. When you get to graduate school, you click on the course. Mm-hmm. Understand that there are usually two different sorts of scholarship, typical. The one who is coming from the department, which can cover all the courses, the one is specific to that program. There will always be. So when you click on your program, go to financial aid. It's always below admission of the same place. Click on the financial aid on your program page, not on the school page. The school page will tell you overall we are giving scholarship, but not every course. University of Missouri, applied economics, the same department of mathematics, economics, there's a course they call it applied economics. They are giving scholarship to all the courses, but they are not giving to applied economics. If I clicked on the economics department, I would have seen that, there is scholarship. But when I clicked on applied economics and I send an email, and when you are not sure, send an email to the program director.
Okay. So before I lose people, so the first thing you mentioned, which is very important, is you have to be proactive. We say in Kenya, kujituma, you know, my Kenyan people, you understand that. Kujituma, we have lost you. But then you're saying for you to get scholarship, first of all, you have to be proactive. And he has mentioned that you have to check. I'm just sharing for those who are on different platforms so they get you right. You have to check on departments for your course.
Specific course.
Your specific course. So if you want to,
at times might have like 2-3 courses. So this specific course you want to do, click on it. Then click on financial aid on that page.
So guys, you heard that. If you want to study a specific course, you click on that departmental program. You check on the scholarship. You write them an email and let them know that you want to apply. Then
information might be there. It might be very clear. Like, let me give you another example. Claremont, there's a university in California. In mathematics, they have scholarship. But for a particular aspect of mathematics, called financial mathematics, there's no scholarship. So those are the key things. If I click on mathematics, I will see that they have scholarship. If I didn't go to the extent of looking at financial mathematics, I won't know that there's no scholarship for that course. But they have like 4 areas under mathematics: computational, applied, pure mathematics, then financial mathematics. So it is possible they have 4 courses, but one of them or more than one is not having scholarship. So if a particular course that I want to do is not offering scholarship, there is no need to waste your time. No matter how good or how best you think you can get admission in that school, it's of no use. Except if I can vary my need that, if I don't get scholarship, I can sponsor myself, fine. But for us from this part of the world, I doubt it is. Some of us, we are born with silver spoon, so you might be able to do it, but to get visa, to get some other things, it is always good to have a scholarship.
Okay, so guys, we are receiving lots of questions, so keep on sending your questions. And those who are reaching out for the very first time, we are consultants. For those who are interested to study abroad and they don't know how to go about it, we help students do that one-on-one. And also those who've been following me on YouTube and my social media accounts, please subscribe and get more this information. So there's one question that has come a lot, but I'm going to sieve them as they go by. So, so does one need to get admission first before they apply for scholarship?
In most cases, no. The school page, the admission page will have told you how to apply for scholarship. Usually there are two things. For some school and for some department, I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think for most professional departments, they want you to get admission before you apply for scholarship. But it would have been stated on the admission page that this type of scholarship, you have to get admission first. But in most cases, for a typical school, the scholarship process is part of the admission process.
Okay.
They always ask you to write, there is a prompt that will ask you, do you want to apply for financial aid? You click. For most schools, they will give you options. You want to apply for research assistantship, for graduate assistantship, for scholarship, assistantship is different from scholarship, for fellowship, for all those things. So whichever one, you can click as many as you feel you qualify for. But just know that they will have different requirements. For example, for a typical scholarship, one for admission, IELTS might not be needed. In most cases, you don't need IELTS. But if you apply for graduate teaching assistantship, IELTS is needed. It's mandatory because you want to teach students. You want to be sure you are able to speak. But if you are applying for ordinary scholarship, I don't need it. IELTS. If the IELTS is not needed for admission, it's not needed for scholarship. So if you click on you need graduate assistantship, I'll use the West Virginia State University as an example. I'm about to apply for somebody. You don't need IELTS. But if you want teaching assistantship, you need IELTS, or you need to prove that you have been teaching or working with English language for not less than 4 years.
Okay.
So those are the things you have to consider when you are applying. But in most cases, the scholarship is part of the admission process. You might not have to write an essay, extra essay, or include it in your SOP why you need the scholarship. It is always good to indicate that you need funding in your SOP, irrespective of the process. It is always good.
Okay, so just maybe for those who didn't get him right, he said application for scholarship goes concurrently with your applications for admissions in most cases, except for situations where you've been told to apply first for admission or to apply for scholarship first, you will be directed. But most of the time, applications, this is specifically for US. Today we are dedicating our information for those who are interested to come and study in the US, or those who are already in the US and they want to do their studies. For the US, your application for admission and scholarship will go concurrently. And as he has mentioned, you need to also mention that in your statement of purpose that you are interested to have to get scholarship. Okay. Another question, I see a lot of questions for Canada. Guys, keep on being with us because Canada will be, I think, in 2 weeks' time. The next one will be UK, and then we'll also talk a lot about Canada. So questions for Canada, I might not answer at this particular time. Though there is one that is has been here. Why do people focus on Canada and UK migration alone? Are there no other international scholarship to apply for?
Well, that's a very tricky question, but I'll only give you my personal objective.
Yes.
The same way we can't like the same girl. You like what you like, I like what I like. So we
Kabiru.
can't like the same girl. So you whatever is your interest. For example, before my focus was on Australia.
Yes.
People might like Canada for different purposes. At times, you might look at the path to getting permanent stay, which is different from each country. At times, it's because we want to go with our families. You look at, if I'm going to UK, it is easier to go with my family. We have different reasons and different needs. And in some countries, for example, in Australia, if you are going for a PhD, you get funding, and even your kids will get the same level of funding when they are going to school, as if they go to school for it. So we might have different reasons for going to different schools, but like I said, you decide on what fits your interest. I might like UK, you might like US. Some people would say for no reason they are not going to Canada. For somebody like me, I don't like UK. And so it is personal decision and what fits what I want to do. So.
Okay. That's a good response. So it depends with your personal interest. It depends with what the value, whether you want to go with your family. But in most countries, especially in the US, you can come with your family. Because today we are focusing on US. You can come with your family. There are lots of scholarships. There are lots of universities, among other things. The other question, is it compulsory to write GRE before getting scholarship? I think you have touched on this before. But if you want to touch on it again, is it compulsory to write GRE before getting scholarship?
GRE is not compulsory, Well, let me say, you look, like I said, you have to look at the course. If the course says it is compulsory, there are no two ways about it.
Okay.
If
So
the
the
course
course.
says it is optional, but when they say it's optional, there is always a tricky part that I always advise people. When the program is telling you it is optional, it doesn't mean they won't use GRE. It means if you don't present it, fine. But if you present it, we are going to use it. But when they say we don't want GRE, it means they will review it. You can check, I think Yale and North Carolina are the two schools I can remember vividly. They will tell you that even if you submit it, we are not going to open it. We won't review it. But for some schools, it is optional. It means that if I present, they will review. If I don't present, it will not put my application in a disadvantage. But personally, what I always advise, this one is my personal advice, and let me emphasize that it's my personal advice. If you want to apply and you can write GRE and you can do very well, please do. If you feel when you write GRE you might not do very well, it might put you at disadvantage, leave it out. But if you are not writing GRE for a course that is GRE optional, you must be able to state a value. You know, the same way if I want to buy something, I'm paying for the value. The school is like paying you for something. What is the value they want to get? One of my friends applied to Claremont University this season, in fact recently, and they said GRE is mandatory for finance. And the guy did not write GRE. But the guy has a qualification that it is the best professional qualification you can get in finance anywhere in the world. CFA. And the guy told them, I'm not going to write GRE because in fact, the first two certificates you can get anywhere in the world, and I mean anywhere in the world, the guy has it. But he has altogether 5 good qualifications in that field. You know what the school did? The school had to send an email that, okay, let's have a meeting. No school will want to do away with that kind of candidate because of GRE.
Yeah.
It is because he has something to show that, okay, even if you make GRE mandatory, I have this thing in. So if GRE is optional or not optional, it depends on the school. Some school A might say it is compulsory, but from the rule of thumb, if your course is in business school, GRE will almost likely be mandatory.
Okay.
If it is in economics, it is mandatory. For other ones, it might be optional.
Okay, nice. So you're saying GRE depends on the course, depends on the school,
depends on the school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. I didn't have to do GRE. Okay. So my course didn't require. You did GRE, yeah. I specifically looked for schools that didn't require me to do GRE. So you can also do that. But there are some courses like you shared that you definitely need to have to do GRE, like the MBAs and all that. And
all those business school courses, GRE is
mandatory, yeah. And there are always a lot of Facebook community that people can join to help with their GRE. I know many people are asking me on the chat and online how to get to us. Our email address is skaeducation@gmail.com or Atienograph from my YouTube channel at gmail.com. I'll also share Kabiru's. But if you reach out to us on links, even through live or on the chat, we will definitely get back to you. So guys, feel free. The other question I'm seeing here, how do I identify a country having known my course of interest?
Who is your best friend? But like I said, we can't just leave that one to chance. We all know where we want to go, and we all know what suits our. Let me. This is personal advice. Let me emphasize that. For country, you understand that each country has different admission process. For example, in US, they always take people from different backgrounds. Like, okay, if I want to study accounting, you can come from mathematics, psychology, everything. It's typical in the US. It's not the same thing in Australia. You have to show that you are from that field.
Okay.
You have to show that you are from that field. So it depends on which one I want. Both of them, one is not superior to the other. They have their advantages and disadvantages. So it's a personal choice. You can just decide on the country that, I want to be US, or I want UK, I want Finland. It's a choice.
So what are some of the advantages of studying abroad for one who's interested to go and study in the US? What are some of those advantages you can share with people?
Yeah, for US, I always like the fact that I can change my field.
You can,
It's safe.
so US, you can safely change your field.
And easily change your field.
Okay.
Why is an advantage for a good and diligent student? It will work in your disadvantage. It will be a disadvantage to you if you are not diligent. In the sense that, let's say I want to go and study accounting. I can study mathematics, I can study psychology, and go to study accounting. It's an advantage. But it's also a disadvantage because it means for my field, everybody can come in and come and, oh, I think I can do it. So the advantage in US is it's a very big country. You have many schools. You have like thousands of schools. You are talking about over 2,000 schools, which give you several options. It's not the same thing with Canada. It's not the same with UK. You have options. So, and if when you're done, you have the opportunity to look for a job. So UK has, and in terms of funding, the more schools you have, the more funding you have, and the more opportunities you have. That is mine.
Okay, nice. The other question: would one need to have TOEFL or TOEFL to get GRE funding? I don't know what that is, but would one need to have TOEFL
for GRE funding? GRE funding is outside. GRE, like GRE scholar, to write GRE, there's a funding which is subscribed for GRE.
Yeah.
But for schools, for most scholarship, you don't need. If you don't need GRE for GRE or IELTS or TOEFL for admission, you don't need for scholarship. Except if you're applying for teaching assistantship, I've emphasized that before. If you're applying for teaching assistantship, they want to know that you can speak English. You are teaching people. They want to know that you can speak English. But it is even not compulsory. For some schools, they will ask you that if you can show that you have a work experience, you've been working with English language, fine. But for some schools, they will see. But in most cases, that one will have to come after you have gotten, you have gotten the funding, but you won't start work. So they have now two ways. You can prove it with your test of English, or you can do the entrance exam. They will always give you English entrance exam in the school. That is from my experience. They can tell you, okay, when you come and write English language test.
Okay. So
how fast that you can continue with the teaching.
Yeah. So more for the US, as we are specifically focusing today, our discussion on US, as you mentioned, most universities in the US, especially if you are coming from a country that has, you've been taught in English and you have experience in English. I hope I get you right. You will not need to do TOEFL.
You don't.
It will be waived. So don't go rush in and start doing your English exams, because most university in the US will waive that for you. If you are coming from a background that does not have English, it is important that you've not been taught in English. It is important that you start the process very, very soon, as Kabiru had started, as now, because it will determine a lot in terms of you getting admissions.
Let me quickly add a caveat. Most people, when you tell them you are not writing your test of English, the only proof they will have is your SOP, or if you have to supply is writing sample. If you know you want to prove that you don't want to submit test of English, you have to make those things top notch.
Okay.
They have to be very good. They have to be very good.
Another question: are there still schools in the US receiving application for fall 2023 with funding?
I can only give you a few personal experience that I know. Yes, I know Claremont, I know Brandeis, I know Utah. Then North Carolina.
If you can be loud enough.
I know Claremont Graduate School in California. They still accept. Brandeis International Business School, they still do. Virginia Tech still does. North Carolina State University, yes.
Okay.
I think that will put probably next week, Virginia Tech, the University of Utah, yeah.
Okay, so still there are some universities that you can still apply for fall 2023.
I think April 1st, yeah.
Yeah, but there are very few. They are very, very few. So if you want to, again, I've posted, and today I posted another video for those who are looking for free applications to these particular universities. Please go to Impact with Sheila. On the YouTube, you'll get those universities that are still open and they still have funding. So we still have universities that are still offering openings for 2023 with funding, but you don't have much time. You have to do it right away. You don't have much time. Guys, we are running out of time. We have less than a minute, and I see questions are coming in. So if we go offline on Zoom, we'll still continue on our social media platforms, or you can just rejoin with the same link. We will just do the same link. You can just rejoin the same link, those who are on Zoom, and it may take a few minutes, but we'll still continue on our other social media platform. For Zoom, you can get back in the same link. The other question that we have, I need help, this is a scholarship in Australian University. Guys, we are not handling Australia for today. Today is strictly USA, study abroad USA. So let your questions be in terms of USA. On 23rd, we'll be handling UK. So those who are interested to go and study in UK, we'll have a guest speaker who has lots of scholarships, who's gained lots of scholarship. She will direct us through, but for today, we are talking a lot. We are specifically focusing our discussion on how you can study in the US, gain scholarship, admissions, and work after study. So put in your question. Kabiru, can you kindly share the model once you're done with your university in the US? What's next?
Yeah, in most cases, it depends on whether you have a STEM program or non-STEM, but in whichever case, you can do OPT or optional practical training, which is like a year for non-STEM, but for STEM, you have an extra 2 years.
Yeah. Okay, so we have lost Kabiru, and I'm just creating another link for those who are joining us for Zoom. Guys, I'm sorry about that. Those are joining us on Zoom, give me a minute. I have to do this now. We have an issue, so let me see guys. Keep on sending your questions, keep on going on, keep on reaching out. We have a technical problem with the Zoom, so I'm just helping the people here who are joining us on Zoom, but keep on the question, keep sharing the question. I know, okay, I don't know, technology, guys, technology. This is not good. Video. Guys, you can say hi or anything. Maybe let me put some music so that we can continue with our discussion. See if you can join with your phone, the same link. Are you able to join? Okay, so did you join? I can't see you. You can't join? Okay, so I have to. Guys, I'm sorry, we are having a technical problem, so I'm just helping this side with our Zoom. Those who are on Zoom, they've been logged out. Can you try and join? Or if you can create for me as well. Guys, Zoom, we can't, it seems like we cannot have you guys back. It is bad. Okay. You can't join, right? Okay, so it looks like the link is not working. What time is it? 5. Guys, I'm sorry, the online it's joining. You send me a link. Okay, nice. Oh. Okay, nice. Thank you. Let me see if I can send Kabir. I think he's on the platform. Thank you so much. So I'll not be able to see anything. Right. Okay. They doing? No. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. That's on Zoom. Oof. I'm sweating. Welcome, guys. We had a technical problem with our Zoom. I'm so sorry about that. Guys, keep on joining. We had an issue with our Zoom. We apologize. And keep on joining. I know many people are still trying to find the new link. Guys, sorry, Zoom can be a very tricky platform to work with. So, Kabiru was cut off when he was talking about where were we? We have so many questions, I've even forgotten where we were at. Okay, we were talking about, are there still schools in the US receiving application for fall 2023? And we mentioned that there are so many schools, not so many, there are few schools currently on that are having scholarships. So if you are looking for information about that, you can go into my YouTube channel, Impact with Sheila DeGraff. I share a lot of information about schools that are currently giving scholarship and that currently have free application. So go in there and check on that. And we'll be more than happy to assist those who are looking for ways to be assisted. And also, if we help one-on-one, those who want one-on-one services, it's a paid service. This one is not free, so we'll share with you our package. That's the question that we were handling before Zoom rudely disconnected us. The other question that we have shout out from Juba, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy, from watching from Juba. You're so sorry we are cut out from the internet, but I know the other channels were still on. Greet our South Sudan people and tell them that we love them. So GRE, another question that is coming up for the US today, we say that we are focusing on study abroad in the US. The question that we have is GRE, does one need to do do I need to do TOEFL for me to get graduate research assistant opportunity. You do not need to do TOEFL for you to get graduate assistant opportunity. A lot of people are asking, what is graduate assistant opportunity? When you get admitted into the US, you have an opportunity to work 20 hours a week. For those who are international students, for those who are studying full-time, you can work 20 hours a week, and you're only allowed to work within the university 20 hours a week during school days. But then you can work 40 hours a week during holidays. So when you're working 20 hours a week, you have various ways to getting employed. One of them is graduate research assistants. So graduate research assistants normally help, graduate research assistants, they help professors in doing their research. Normally you'll be guided. It is very easy, it is very simple. You do not need to have TOEFL. You do not need to have English proficiency certification for you to do graduate assistant, for you to have graduate assistant opportunity, and for you to also to get funding. And if you have scholarship, you can still also get graduate assistant opportunity. I am on full scholarship, but I still have research assistant. So you can get graduate assistant, you can get research assistant, you work within the university. You do not need TOEFL for you to have this funding. But for those who are looking for teaching assistant, some universities require you to have TOEFL. Okay. The other, you have a question? Let me mute you. Okay. If you have a question, unmute, but before that, please don't. We are in a very serious session right now. Okay. So another question. I have admission to the university in the US, but without scholarship. Are there any ways I can be able to get scholarship? I know many people are getting admission without scholarship. Studying in the US is very, very expensive. If you do not have scholarship, my advice would be reach out to the admissions, reach out to the school and request them for scholarship. Insist on you are not in a position to pay the full amount. Maybe if you are from a tycoon family, then you can go ahead and apply. But even with all the money, studies in the US is not cheap. So if you have admissions and you don't have scholarship, I have two advice, genuine advice. Reach out to the admissions, reach out to the school, reach out to the department, request for scholarship. Actually, there are three. The second one, look out for other scholarship opportunities, funding that you can explore. I do not guarantee this. The third one is you can always apply for other schools. You can always apply to other universities, apply to other. Hey Kabiru, you are back with your popcorns. You can always apply to other schools, other programs that will allow you to have scholarship. The reason being, if you get admission without scholarship and you cannot prove your funding, you cannot prove sources of funding, even getting visa will be very, very difficult. Will be extremely difficult. So it is always advisable to get admission and also get scholarship. It will help you in getting your visa and also for you to do your studies without so much stress. So my advice is apply again, reach out to the admissions, look for other scholarship opportunity, or look for another course that will give you, maybe the course you applied for didn't have more funding, so look for another course that will give you more funding. And with this, we'll help you. If you come for one-on-one consultation, we will help you identify those courses that can help, that you can get funding with. So the other question that I am having here is, is there any MBA school with full funding for CGPA of 3.0 in USA? Kabiru, do you want to tackle that? Are there any MBA schools with full funding?
I had a question. I think maybe if I've said it, but let me re-emphasize this. In most cases,
yes,
the CGPA that you need is whatever CGPA that they tell you is the minimum. It is good to have an excellent CGPA, 3.9, 4.0, it's fine. But like I always refer to them as, it's like having a gun but you don't know how to fire it.
Uh-huh.
Your CGPA will count for nothing in admission or scholarship if you cannot prove how you have. I think I said it at the beginning, probably the person came late. It is not about your CGPA, it's about the relevant courses that you want to do, and you're able to prove it how that courses will benefit. Let me give you an example. You might have a very low. Let me use one real life example, and I will tell you a real life example. In in my country, we use first class, 2-1, 2-2, in that
Which
order.
one is your country?
Yeah, my country in Nigeria. So it's always a first class or 2-1 for admission. My two brother, his friend, and another friend, they applied to Australia for different schools. This guy has a 2-2. This is like not a typical cooperative CGPA. It's a 2-2. But you know the guy got funding. You know why? The guy wrote a research proposal in an area that nobody, typically anybody will not want to do research in that area. Typically, anybody, in fact, let me say a typical African will not do research in that area, which is like organ donation. A typical African man doesn't do something on organ donation. The guy is a lawyer. So he decided to write on the law of organ donation, which is very novel in Africa. No, I can tell you how many people will write on organ donation in Africa. The guy got the funding because in this case they want a research proposal, and he wrote a proposal that's like not common for anybody. You can write on commercial or this law. The guy said he wants to do something on organ donation in Africa. So if you have a 3.0, fine. But from my experience, MBA will ask you for a GRE or GMAT, which is always very competitive. And when you see the typical GMAT in that area, it's always very competitive. So it's not by your CGPA. You can have a perfect score, but every other component of the application must be equally perfect. CGP, your SOP, your GRE or GMAT, and your writing sample or whatever. So it's not about your CGP. It's just like to get into the door. So if it is the minimum the school requires, then you are fine.
Okay, guys, let us know where you're watching us from. Please share with us where you're watching us from so that we can contextualize the discussion. Tell us if there's anything that we need to share more on. I see the questions are still continuing, and we are loving this discussion, guys. Thank you. There is a question as well. Are there scholarships for management courses in USA with almost 4.0 GPA? 4.0, I believe this is 4.0 out of 5. Or what would be your best advice to that?
Yeah, let me say re-emphasize it. I'm still saying it for the maybe third time or fourth time. The minimum CGPA you need is the minimum CGPA that the department asks you for. So if the department says it's 3.0, it's 3.0, you need to get scholarship. However, you need other schools, and I'm telling you because of practical experience. I think Sheila have shared with you before. Two people that I processed as before. The same department. One has a first class. The other one does not have a first class. The one that does not have a first class got scholarship, but the one with first class did not get. In those two schools that I did, did not get. What was the difference? The one that had first class was always emphasizing on first class, and I told him specifically, it is not about having first class. It's about showing why your scores and your specific subject is a fit for the department. The department is not interested in your CGPA. They are interested in the value they want to pay you for. It looks like they are paying you, they are hiring you. What do they want to pay for? You need to show them that this is what I can do well. For example, if I'm writing my SOP, I always tell them that I can do presentation very well and I can analyze very well. So it's part of what I will. You need to sell a value to them. It's not about I have 4.0, a perfect CGPA or something. Nobody cares. Tell them the value. So each application has different components. You have your CGPA, you have your GRE or GMAT if it is needed, you have your SOP. Don't always underrate SOP. I always emphasize it. If you are going to get funding or anything, your SOP will be your decider. Forget about your CGPA. If you are going to get funding, your SOP is your decider. Of course, if the school is asking for research proposal, that's another good area. Even if school is not asking you for a research proposal, that is why I emphasized at the beginning, do your research. Even if school is not asking for a research proposal, it is very good to always tell them you have something to do. That is why you are coming. That, oh, I know a professor that is doing this type of research, and I want to do this type of research. And another trick I always use on my own SOP, like I got my SOP, and I can tell you that my success rate in getting admission is like it's not less than 90%. What I always do is this: I will look at two professors.
Serious.
That department. I will look for the research they are doing. Now reference it in my SOP. Even if they are not asking me for, I will tell them that, oh, I want to do PhD, but I need to do this master before getting to PhD. And this is the research I want to do if I'm doing PhD. So I want to use this as my master project. A typical school, only they get ranked because of research. School is not ranked on anything else. It is on research. And it is whoever can give them that value that they will place premium on that. Oh, you can do research, they come. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to do research, they can train you. But it's always a big plus if you can show that you are interested in research. Even if I'm not going to do research, who told me that I will go and do research after all? But I need to get in. I need to tell them what they want to hear, which is like, I can do this research. And to tell them that you have done a little check or background on the schools, on the professors. It doesn't mean the professor is your supervisor. It doesn't mean it's anything. But it always works well. And I always, like I told you, I always emphasize how I got to this school is because I contacted the professor. I can never forget that. It's one of my professors now. I just sent an email like I did, and he advised me that, okay, if you don't want to submit GRE, you will be able to apply for PhD at this point. And at that point, I've written my GRE, but I didn't want to pay for submission. And I insisted I don't want to submit. And I said, there's nothing we can do, but that they only take 4 people. And if I'm not submitting GRE at this point, you will be at disadvantage. And we parted ways. And later he sent me an email that, oh, if you want, since you don't want to submit GRE, you can apply for masters now, and we are going to do this for you with everything. And I got it. So nice. You have to like communicate and let them see the value you want to sell. If it's a price you have gotten in your secondary school, a price you have gotten on the job, always reference that in whatever you are doing.
Okay. So
any leadership quality, any leadership position you have held before, always reference it.
Okay, so what I get right from you is that your statement of purpose should always be your first priority. Like put everything, everything, make it as strong as you can, because that will give you scholarship, it will give you admissions, and most of the time your grades doesn't matter. Like your grades, you got first class or second class, and you cannot.
I've seen it from example. Yeah. It doesn't really.
Yeah, so the other questions, guys, I know we are past time. It's already 6:01 in Kenya, East African time. Those are watching us from different parts of the world. I really appreciate you guys logging in. We are past time with 1 minute. But our African time culture, if it's okay, I can ask one more question. There's still more. Okay. Would you help someone who already has bachelor's degree in his own country but wants to change a program through fully funded scholarship?
Well, we can assist, we cannot help you. You have to help yourself, or we have to assist you.
So what Kabiru is saying...
Don't mind me, I'm very frank. When it comes to admission, I'm always very frank. Yeah. You have to do a lot.
Yes.
A lot in the sense that where you are, for example, now you want to change. I don't know the course you are coming from and the course you are changing. I changed as well. I read accounting. I go to economic policy. Now I'm in sustainability. I equally change. So, like I said, you can change. Mind you, it is not about saying you want to change. I always advise people to get a copy of their transcript. Look through your transcript. If you want to change, where I'm changing to, will I be able to prove that I can do this? For example, in all my undergraduate courses, all my economics courses, I had A. All my statistics, I had A.
Oh, you had A in all your statistics?
Yeah. So when I wanted to change to that course, and they required GRE as well, what I did was to do like a mail that, okay, I want to do this course. These are the economic courses I've passed. They only said you should do microeconomics and something, which I've done, and I have A. For statistics, I've done it twice. I have A. For mathematics, I've done it this. I think I did 2 or 3 times, and I had A. So I was able to use it as a proof that I can do it. It should have been another thing entirely if my microeconomics and macroeconomics I have a C, let's say C, and statistics I have C or D. I might still have a very good grade in the end. That is why I don't always emphasize the final grade. The final grade is good, but in reality, it is the specific courses. Some countries make it very easy. Like Sweden will ask you to list those courses and tell them the grade. Some universities in the US, they do that as well. I'm very sure Brandeis, University of Mathematics, does that. Florida State University at Tallahassee does that. They will ask you the specific courses and the grade. In fact, they will ask you in 2 places. The first one is this field you are coming to, which are the courses you have done and what are the grades?
Okay.
Then this field you are going to, have you done any course that is related to this one before? What are the grades? Then if you want to specialize, for some field that has specialization, they will ask you different specialization and different courses that you have done that is related. Go and check Brandeis University, Department of Mathematics, Florida State University, Department of Mathematics, you will see what I'm saying. They will ask you specifically to list those courses. Then if you not say, oh, I want to specialize in this course, okay, you want to specialize in applied mathematics. Have you done any courses on applied mathematics before? And what was the grade?
Okay.
You know, it is beyond having A or having C or having a first class in overall. It is the specific now.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks so much for sharing that. So you can change the course. We don't know the reason why you are changing the course. That's why Kabiru has shared all those details. If you want us to help you on a one-on-one, please reach out to us. We will help you. We will guide you through. And we do not guarantee fully funded scholarship, but we have students who've gotten fully funded scholarship, who've gotten scholarship. We normally assist as much as we can. So we don't want to say, oh, when you come to us, you'll get fully funded scholarship. We will, as he said, we will help you according to the match you want to help yourself. I got you right, Kabiru, right?
No.
So the last questions, guys, we are 5 minutes past our time, but the last question is, can you please ask Kabiru how to get an example of a writing sample?
Oh, there are several ways to get it, but the best it's not easy to write something in vacuum. That will write 10 pages now. And typically for some of us from Africa, there is only one way. There might be other ways, but usually one way. The only way you can do it is to get your undergraduate project. Then the chapter on literature review is always the best to use. The chapter on literature review. You have submitted your projects. You know how you got that project. Even if I don't know whether I was there or not, you know how you got your project. Go back and rewrite it. There is no law that says you cannot rewrite it. You must use it as you got it. You use it. You might even have A in your project. Because most of the time, people make me say, okay, if I have A in this course, then it must be perfect. It doesn't mean. We have different standard of measurements, different standard of judging students. Take it back, check your referencing, check your grammar, then find a way to flex it. Most of the time, you can vary it. 5 pages, you can have 5 pages, you can have 10 pages, you can have 15 pages. It's always good to have variations of all of them. Because some school can ask you for like 10 pages, some will say not more than 5, some will say 10, some will say 15, depending on the school. But the most important thing is make sure you get everything right inside. You have the time to reread, check the grammar, and let there not be plagiarism. Plagiarism is an offense that school will not tell you, except if you go to University of Regina in Canada, if you go to their page, they have a document on plagiarism. They will tell you that if you submit a document to our school and it is plagiarized, we will blacklist you in all Canadian universities, all, not just Regina. That was where I got to know that they have like a link for that they will just blacklist you across all Canadian universities. It's on University of Regina. You can check. You can go there and check. So make sure that, and there's a difference between plagiarism and there is this grammar my father always use. Shoddy, no. It's like, let me just use the word shoddy job. Shoddy job is like, you did it, but you didn't reference it very well. Maybe you did not paraphrase it, you didn't reference it very well. It's different from when you copy a project as your own. You get the two now. In the first instance, I picked like a paragraph from a journal. I did not paraphrase it, but I referenced it. It is not good. I'm not saying it is good. They will still label it, but it is not plagiarism. I'm trying to recall the exact what we use for that. But let me just say that what they will judge that, oh, you didn't do it very well. They will still not use it for you, but they will not penalize you on that one. In this case, you are not penalized, but you won't get value for it. If it is plagiarized, you will not get value, you will still be penalized.
So like, we should avoid, avoid at all levels any form of plagiarism because it will work against you.
We got our project from somewhere, we just copied. So in that case, I won't deceive myself. I have to go and rewrite my project. I need to rewrite my project.
Yes.
Rewrite it, write it very well, make sure it is not plagiarized. But if it is plagiarized, just pick any topic that you like, especially if it can fall within the area that you want. Pick any topic, write something, then ask somebody to like read it for you, then do it over and over until you get it right.
Okay, so that's about writing sample. You can look at your project, and most of the time it's always good to check on the projects you've done before. I know also out of experience, and also look at the format that the university wants you to present the project, the writing sample, and follow it to the letter. Don't for me they wanted me to have a particular style, particular referencing style, number of words and all that, so it's good to check on that. So guys, if you're watching us live from either platform, please subscribe to our channel, Impact with Sheila Vandegraaff. We also will be having this session again next week on 23rd, same time, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be hosting a wonderful lady who's done amazing work, and we'll be focusing our discussion on UK. Those who want to study in UK, we'll be hosting the guest from UK, and she'll be joining us live. We'll also be having my colleagues, Kabiru and I will be in for any question and moderation. And please feel free to send your questions in good time, early enough, so that we can help you understand and take advantage of the 1 hour. If you have any more questions, please send them through our emails. Our email address are skeducation@gmail.com, skeducation@gmail.com. We help students who want to get one-on-one services to study abroad, either US, UK, Europe, name them. We help you do your statement of purpose, help you choose your courses, help you read your essays and all that. If you want that service, it is a paid service that's not free. Reach out to us and we will guide you accordingly. We always start with strategy meeting, and this one helps you understand the course you want to study against your performance. We look at your course, evaluate it. We look at your transcripts, evaluate it, and advise you accordingly so that you can get to the right course that will be able to give you scholarship. Hassan, you have a question, and we are closing. I'm making my serious closing remarks. Anyway, what question do you have? Hassan? Hassan?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, I've gotten admission to St. Louis University in America.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I was wondering how will I get a fully funded scholarship for that particular school?
You've gotten admission in the US, but you don't have fully funded scholarship.
Yeah, the school offered me a partial scholarship, but it's not full. So I want to get a fully funded external scholarship.
Congratulations, you've gotten a partial scholarship and you're already admitted in the US. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Let me take it to Kabiru so that he can... We are breaking the protocol here, guys. Forgive me because we are 13 minutes past our time. So, but really, this is good news, Hassan. Congratulations for getting. Am I getting your name well? Al Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan Yusuf. Thank you.
Al Hassan Yusuf. So you've gotten admission in the US and you've also gotten partial scholarship. And your question is, how can you get fully funded scholarship? I know Kabiru is going to handle that as he continues, because he had already talked about it anyway. I think you just joined us a little bit late. Kabiru.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alazan, congratulations. Are you from Nigeria?
No, please. I'm from Ghana.
Oh.
Al Hassan is from Ghana. Not everyone comes from
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
But that's like a typical Hausa name in my country. Okay, to your question, it's actually a very tricky one. The options you have left are not really much. When the school has offered the scholarship, technically that is the best they can do. There are only two other ways, or let me say three, that you have left. The first one is to reach out to that department. You write, thank them for the funding, thank them very well, you appreciate that. Are there other fundings you could apply to? That is the first thing you do. You thank them, you now ask if there are other scholarships, because now you have been given a course. In most cases, scholarships are tied to that course. That is why even if you change your course, you can't go with that scholarship. So your scholarship is tied to that course. So you have to ask the department if there are other funding options you can apply to. Number one. Number two, you can the same department you ask you if they have graduate assistantship. You can see that one department can provide the information, or if you have been added to career pay. I know for now they wouldn't have done that until April 15. The school will not add you to the career pay. So if added to the career pay, you can check for openings that has like graduate assistantship, that is offering stipend or some other thing. That is the other one you can do. The third one is to look for external scholarship. That one is always very difficult, but it is not impossible. You just have to be like, look for, scout the internet, look for Rotary scholarship days, scholarship days. Look for scholarship that is now particular to that country, and you meet the demography. Let's say the scholarship now saying that you must be a first year study in the US, or if it says now you must be a US citizen, I did not meet that demography. But if you say that, oh, you can be from any part of the world, but that you must be studying in the US or you must be studying a particular field, that is the third option. Otherwise, except you have applied to another school is giving you funding and you are moving to that school. But for that specific one, you are limited to the department. I remember the same thing happened to me. I did not get full funding, so I sent email, they said I should apply to school. But at times, the school do get extra funding, because I got extra funding after I resumed. But in this case, I did not ask. I did not do anything. I just received an email that there's an extra funding in the department and they are offering me the funding, because as at the time they offered the funding, I would have gotten it. Assuming the funding was available when they were doing admission, I would have gotten the funding. But I always do, it's a very funny scenario. I just saw an email that you have given the outline. I did not ask. So they now said it is because if the funding had been available at that time, I would have gotten it. So they gave me. That one does happen as well.
Okay.
See my phone.
Yeah, there is another question. I think Kabiru, you're also aware. Yeah, so normally if you get partial scholarship, that's very good because you're already a step ahead. If you get admission and you get partial scholarship, that will also help you get your visa and all that. And Kabiru has shared that go back, thank them for that opportunity. Not many people get those opportunities. Thank them for the opportunity and request for more. I know in Africa, if you're coming from Africa, we always told not to keep on asking. Having stayed in these countries, they love people who ask. So keep on asking. Yeah, they love it when you ask, because some of them have those scholarships and no one is reaching out. So ask the department if they have more scholarship. Also reach out to them and request for graduate assistant opportunity if they have, as the way Kabiru has placed it, or graduate assistant opportunity or research assistant. It's all in the same category. And then also look for jobs as Kabiru has shared. Then look for external scholarship. I'm just sharing this for those who are on the other platforms who can't hear us from Zoom. Look for external scholarship. And then the question, Kabiru, and I think you can touch on that, is are you able to apply for loan if you have partial scholarship?
I won't want to give a blanket answer. You can, and you can get it.
You can, yes.
100%.
Yes.
But it is not like if the money is just there, just come and pick. For some loan organizations, like I don't claim to know everything. I have that one at the back of your mind. I can only talk to what I know in reality. If you talk to like Empower has like certain schools they are working with, and they don't always want to go beyond. Most of them have schools they are working with. But Empower is always very restricted to like what's the name of Pro Finance or Prodigy Finance, sorry, not Empower, Prodigy Finance. They are always very strict about who they give it to. You have to be STEM, you have to be this. So if your course is from STEM, you have an advantage. If your course is non-STEM, you have to prove you can do it. You know, everybody will want to give you they look at your path that, oh, if you finish, will you be able to get work? Will you be able to do it? If you know you are going to apply for loan, start applying for school job, even if it doesn't pay you stipend. It's a very big factor in your loan application because they want you to be servicing the loan. And when you have like a school campus job, it is easier for you to service. Most times for companies like Empower, even if you get the approval, they will not want to disburse until they can see that you have like. And when you have school job, that is when you can get social security number. It is always very key. Then you don't have credit history in the US. Make sure your credit history at home is very good. That is what they will spool. They always have representative in, I believe they have it in Kenya, they have it in Nigeria. So what they do is they contact their representative in your country to spool your credit. For some of us, I'll use Nigeria as an example. You can have like 5-10 accounts. You have abandoned them. Some of them, they have like a little charge of like 10 naira, but because you did not service the account, the charges keeps growing. The company will have put you on a particular list. We call it credit list, or blacklisting or bad credit something. All those things will count against you. Not that you really have a loan, you don't have a loan, but you do not have a good credit history. Then, if you know you are going for a loan, make sure you can show that you are working.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. So for sure, if you have partial scholarship and you're looking for loan, you can, depending on your school. And I've seen there's a contribution on the chart that St. Louis, if you are in St. Louis, you can be sponsored. You can get the Empower loan. I hope Fred is confirming that. I just wanted to know that. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. This is the final thank you. We are way past our time. I know questions are still rolling. We can't take any more questions. I know people are busy. Let us know if this time is the best time for us to meet. If there's anyone who has a problem with our timing, I think we want to keep this time to be our time of engagement. Share this with your friends. Share the link. Those who want to join the group, we have a WhatsApp group that we'll be sharing on different platforms. And please subscribe to our channel. Reach out to us, those who want one-on-one engagement for us to guide you, read through your personal statement and all that. Reach out. We are always here, Kabiru and I, and we have a team behind us, and we are very excited. Petal has been in the background giving me all the questions, all the many questions. And Kabiru, thank you so much. I know it's very early. You're taking your breakfast, your popcorn breakfast, as we are just waiting for our dinner here in Kenya before I travel back to snow. You know, I'm really enjoying the sun around here. If you're in Kenya and you want to meet me one-on-one, we can arrange that, but we always have to engage other team members. So if you want to have a discussion with me and Kabiru, let us know, and our team, let us know in good time so that we can organize appropriate time for Kabiru so that he doesn't wake up at 3 a.m. as we enjoy the sun. Thank you guys from Facebook. Lots of love from YouTube, Instagram, from Zoom, my people. Thank you and be blessed. Thank you. Next time, UK, we are having UK for 23rd. Thank you all and share. We'll share the link, we'll share the information, we'll share the poster. Thank you guys and be blessed. Have a nice evening, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, depending on where you're watching us from. You're free to leave the chat. You're free to leave the social media platform. I see people don't want to leave. You can tell me anything you want to share now, but we're officially done with our session.
Probably they have more questions.
They have, yeah, but we can't stay the whole day.